Hello, lovelies! My name's Feta, and welcome to Fable Academy, where adventurers old and new learn from the best, but usually the worst. Now, in case the title of my channel isn't enough of an indication, I'm still a relative newcomer when it comes to D&D, Daggerheart, tabletop games in general. That's right, I'm a filthy newbie who's learning as he goes and doesn't really know what he's talking about. I buy Pokemon booster packs like lottery tickets, and frankly, I'm just too scared to learn how to play Magic the Gathering. Hell, I can't even figure out what they're talking about half the time. So, why do I bring this up? Because as a relatively inexperienced player, I still sometimes gaslight myself into trying to play correctly. You know what I mean, right? Trying to build my character to be the most effective to play, rather than take an idea for a character and turn it into an appropriately fitting character sheet. For example, my chaotic evil druid character is a very smart and charismatic lady, so naturally I prioritize her intelligence and charisma, right? But then there's the correct voice telling me that a druid with a low wisdom score is basically worthless, and that intelligence and charisma are basically the worst stats that a druid can have, even if she's not a wise character. And yeah, I'm well aware that there are better systems for building your characters authentically rather than effectively. Shout out to Nico DeGaio for agreeing to show me how to play Daggerheart and then waiting 3 months for me to actually commit to it. I left them outside the whole time. It was raining. Love you, boo! But all of this is my long, meandering way of bringing up this weird internal conflict of trying to play the character you want to play, while also having to contend with the idea that a game is meant to be won or played right. Today's story is a good example of this conflict. Our story today is from Golden Socks. I cast Cure Wounds and lost free will. Fairly light compared to many RPG horror stories, but wanted to share this from a few years ago. I joined a group in progress as the 5th player character. They told me that they weren't a super serious group, but didn't want any joke characters, which was no problem. Everything seemed on the up and up. 3 of the other players definitely were playing more seriously in that they were very much into the rules and making powerful characters. The other player was more of an along for the ride type of guy, but not really a focus of this story. But I like playing more support-focused characters, so it didn't bother me too much. I was fine with letting them do big damage while I kept them going as a more supporting role. Eventually, after a couple of sessions, we had a battle that was going rough and spread the group out a bit to deal with threats at multiple ends of a board. I was with another player and was moving to return to the main group after finishing up on one end of the board. I moved next to the other player and didn't want to dash and end out in the open, so I stopped, and since I had extra spell slots at the time, I cast Cure Wounds on the other player to give them some extra health. The other 3 people started to groan and complain that I was wasting my turn and spell slots, and why in the world would I take Cure Wounds as a spell to begin with? I tried explaining myself, but it seemed to not ease them down. We continued on and finished the session, but I felt something was off. Turns out I was right and something was definitely off. Apparently I wasn't performing good enough for the 3 players that were more into the game side of things. They were complaining that I wasn't doing enough and focusing too much on support and being too much of a joke character. They basically were upset that I wasn't playing clerics the way they wanted. I wasn't taking every optimum spell, but I thought I was holding enough in my own for what I wanted. I know Cure Wounds wasn't the best spell, but I wasn't expecting this level of response. The next session, they told me the exact spell list to prepare and how I should be playing my character, including what actions I should be taking every single turn. Every time I wanted to do something different, I had to defend my action. Major backseat playing. It grew tiring quickly, and by the end of the session, I was exhausted. I talked to the DM and he said his hands were tied. Unfortunately, I decided to back out of that campaign after we couldn't come to an agreement. No idea what happened to that group. See, this is what I mean. Players like this are why I and others get scared of playing a character that isn't technically perfect. The fact that they have the audacity to give OP a list of spells and instructions on how to play their own damn character shows just what they're actually doing, which is trying to talk down to a new player and assert dominance. I mean, have any of these people played Marvel Rivals or League of Legends ever? It's a miracle to find a player who wants to play support at all! Count your blessings and stop trying to turn OP into your heal slut so you can continue to have your heavy hitter hero moments. By the way, if you say you're not a super serious group and then 3 of your players immediately start backseat driving the new character, something's not adding up. This DM seems like he's trying not to get into any conflict with these players at OP's expense, and I think I'm starting to see why there was an opening at this table. The DM should be stepping in to tell these players to back off and let OP play as they want, because it's everyone's game. As for that other player that's just along for the ride, I have to wonder where he was in all of this. Was he getting it just as bad from these 3 real players? Or was he so along for the ride that he just let OP get mistreated like this? OP, you already left this table, and this is an old story, so I hope whatever table you're at now appreciates someone that actually enjoys being part of a team and not just a robot. And if you or anyone else wants to learn how to play Daggerheart, which the rumors are true, it does liberate you from the stats and let you play your characters more freely and with less systemic pressure to shoot for perfection, check out Nico DeGaio's channel. They're a real resource and a phenomenal creator. But that's just my thoughts on this story. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments and I'll see you real soon for our next lesson in Fable Academy.